Let's bring in Democratic member of the House Oversight Committee, Congressman Dan Goldman of New York. Congressman, this seems an awful lot like 2016 and James Comey saying, well, geez, I can't indict Hillary Clinton legally, so I'm going to indict her politically and hold a press conference and attack her. This language that he used, this gratuitous language that he used, again, given the sensitivities of the case, he knew it was going to end up on the front page of pro-Trump newspapers. He knew it, and it's exactly what happened. What's your reaction?
Well, my reaction is there are a number of highly questionable and seemingly partisan and political assessments by the special counsel. First of all, the evidence that President Biden knew he had classified materials while he was a private citizen, and that's important because otherwise he was perfectly legal. It was perfectly legal for him to have it. Was so thin, and for him to even conclude that he willfully retained, I think, is a flawed conclusion. The evidence does not support that. So that's right off the bat that you have this questionable conclusion. And then he goes on to do a full analysis. And while I agree with Chuck that the credibility of witnesses matters, the credibility of the potential defendant is something altogether very different, especially when one volunteers for an interview, because he's not going to testify. A jury is not going to end up having to analyze Joe Biden, and especially when you're saying that the charges or the evidence does not meet the charges, that is completely gratuitous and completely unnecessary. My understanding as well, Joe, is that during these 5 hours, President Biden went through in great detail many conversations that he had with various other people from years and years ago. So he cherry-picked a couple of examples that perhaps we don't know, perhaps are in context, perhaps are out of context, related to very sensitive issues such as his son, really just to bash him, just to impugn him. And it is excessive, it is gratuitous. And the last thing I'll say, Joe, is it's wrong. I have had a number of conversations with President Biden over the last couple of years, including on October 7th, the day before this interview when I was in Israel, and he called me. And his mastery and understanding of the geopolitical situation on the ground in Israel and in the surrounding region was remarkable. He was recounting to me all the various different things they had done in the first couple hours of the war. He was completely on top of everything that was going on, and his experience, because of his age and his wisdom, has been invaluable to this country as we have navigated through the Russia-Ukraine war and now the Middle East. So there is a flip side to the age thing, which Joe Biden has demonstrated very well over the last couple of years.